Hello and welcome. I'm your host, Lou. You're listening to the Raptors Reaction Podcast presented by Betway for all your sports betting activities. Hit the QR code that you see here on the screen or follow the link you see in the description of the episode. Raptors tank takes another hilarious turn, goes into Utah, which has been, the first team and probably not the last team this season to be fined for tanking, basically, by holding out their players. And, of course, the Raptors go in and actually win that game. They've now won 2 games over Utah in the span of a week. This time the Raptors win 126 to 118. I think what you're seeing here is a couple of different things. Number one, I think you're seeing, first and foremost, a really good effort by the Raptors. Second, and even, third unit players. Those guys are all giving it a great effort. I think that the leaders of the team, Scottie Barnes, Immanuel Quickley, RJ Barrett, they also showed a great determination in this game to fight and play hard. And so I know everything kind of gets thrown out the window during tanks, but I think it's still pretty important to acknowledge when players play well for the Raptors, and certainly that's the reason why the Raptors would win tonight. They played really well on defense. I know Utah hit a bunch of threes, but still, the Raptors won this game because of their defensive activity, forcing a bunch of Utah Jazz turnovers. A lot of that was led by the second unit too, which is so funny watching literally a rookie in Jamal Shead and a veteran in Garrett Temple really lock down on defense and provide this defensive stability that, quite frankly, the Raptors have really hung their hat on since about the middle of January onward. They've been really good defensively. Kind of out of nowhere too. So I think that's a big credit to Darko and the work that he's doing with the stat. You see the offense that they're running. The fact that they're able to get easy buckets no matter who they throw out there is a really great sign of coaching, because that means your system is getting the result done for you. You know what I mean? It reminds me a little bit of how Spo used to do this back in the day. I mean, this year Spo's kind of really struggled with Miami, and they've just gone on a complete tailspin, especially since the Jimmy Butler situation. But his offense is really producing good results for the team. I mean, when you have Orlando Robinson coming in and throwing really, really beautiful passes, that find guys cutting right to the basket, I think that's a really good sign on the coach. So again, I want to acknowledge that a lot of actually good things go into these things. And so even though, again, nobody's really looking for the win, everyone's so focused on looking ahead to the draft, I think they actually did a really good job of applying a lot of what they've been working on all season. And the fact that it's working is just coming at an inopportune time when the Raptors clearly want to move in the opposite direction of losing. And so that's the part that's really funny to me, because the other part of watching this game is just, this is what happens when you have a team that is completely dedicated to tanking versus a team that is kind of more or less, or not less dedicated to tanking, but this is full measures versus half measures, if we want to call it that. Utah Jazz coming into the season, it has been a full measure. The last 2 seasons, they've tried to sort of be competitive and then pivot to a midseason tank. Will Hardy, I think, has done a really good job of coaching this team. They've established a good system of their own. They really like to shoot the 3 well. They got bigs who can really space it, which obviously presents a lot of problems. But this year, they come into the season, they're like, we're going to tank. And what you're seeing all season from them is that very sustained effort to tank. Towards the end here, it's even funny seeing them get fined for Lauri Markkanen not being made available for multiple games due to basically phantom injuries. And so he got fined $100K, or the Utah Jazz got fined $100K. The players don't get fined. The organization does. But so you see him back in the lineup the last 2 games, but this game, it was very funny to see that he was in the game for the first half, and then in the second half, he didn't even play. So it's very much the definition of, I'm just showing up here so I don't get fined, right? That was the definition of that. And then, of course, last game, if you think back to the last game against the Utah Jazz, where the Raptors were able to win that one as well, again, largely against their will, but still, Walker Kessler was the number one issue in that game. He gave the Raptors absolute fits. He certainly was quite upset after the Raptors fans booed the U.S. anthem. And so, being the proud American that he is, went out there and dropped 18 points and 25 rebounds, including 18 in the first half. Just incredible numbers for Walker Kessler tonight. Dressed for the game. He wasn't officially rested, because the last couple of games he's also been rested. Tonight, he didn't even play in the game tonight. So again, you could tell what Utah's circumstances and what Utah's purpose was heading into a game like this. For the Raptors side, obviously the Raptors are not, blameless, or they're not taking any actions. They are, right? So they continue to recycle players in and out in terms of who's going to play today, who's going to rest today. We've seen IQ rested. We've seen Scottie get a game off. We've seen RJ get a game off. We've seen Jakob now get another game off here tonight against Utah. And this gave another opportunity for obviously the Raptors to showcase some of their other bigs. So they're sort of, between Colin Castleton and Orlando Robinson, kind of competing for a potential future, I guess, with the Raptors in terms of the Raptors needing more bigs in the system. And both of those guys could potentially land a backup spot, for example, with the Raptors, or even third string, depending, again, just how the offseason goes. But tonight they gave Jakob the rest. So that's one point towards the tank. I think you also saw towards the end of the game, the Raptors once again pulled the same move, which was, okay, we are going to play our regular guys, and then early in the fourth quarter, we're going to pull those guys, our main guys, and try to finish out with our second and even third string players. And tonight, despite the Raptors actually being in a good position to kind of tank the rest of the game, they actually had kept Scottie, IQ, and RJ in for the start of the fourth quarter, and those three guys all combined for some pretty good stuff. IQ found Scottie rolling to the basket. Scottie got fouled at the rim. Honestly, could have finished the dunk, but ultimately he couldn't convert. But a good play there. IQ with a nice steal, and then found RJ in transition. RJ knocked down the three, and then another play where the Raptors got a stop. IQ got the rebound and threw it ahead to Scottie, who finished with a Euro step in traffic. That actually sparked a mini run where the Raptors were able to push their lead to double digits, and then those guys sat. And so it was like, okay, the Raptors had a lead going into the remainder of the last 10 minutes. Can potentially the second and third stringers, in this case it would be Jamal Shead, it was Garrett Temple, alongside of AJ Lawson, Jamison Battle, and Orlando Robinson, can those guys, with a bit of Colin Castleton sprinkled in there, can those guys actually essentially hold on to the lead? And of course, if they don't hold on to the lead, it's actually good for the tank. Well, ultimately they couldn't do that. They were able to sort of actually hold on and secure the win. I felt like they actually played some really good stuff. I mean, the Jazz hit a couple of threes towards the end to make the gap a little bit closer, but ultimately the Raptors did a really good job defensively. The guy I walk out of a game like this the most impressed with is Garrett Temple, who is like the ultimate pro, obviously a veteran, 38 years old, hasn't played all season. Towards the end here, he's playing, but quite frankly, some of that's injury driven, right? Because the Raptors have lost, Grady Dick. They've lost, Ochai Agbaji for the last couple of games, Jacoby Walter. So, of course, if those guys were healthy, they certainly wouldn't be giving Garrett these minutes. And, of course, if the Raptors weren't tanking towards the end of the season, they certainly wouldn't be, again, giving Garrett those minutes. They'd give them to other guys. Having said that, though, huge shout to Garrett's professionalism, that he's completely ready at any given moment to go in the game and to play a pretty big role. I mean, tonight, Garrett was, just a main fixture in the rotation, plays 20 minutes tonight. And I know, the stats overall don't look that impressive. I mean, you're never going to see Garrett Temple at this age, drop 20 and 10 or something like that, right? But Garrett's defense, I thought, in this game was so on point. And I think that, I think when I look at Garrett, I mean this with no disrespect, but I almost look at it as when an assistant coach goes into a game. I feel like he's an extension of that coaching staff, I want to see when he goes in the game, I want to see how the team actually intends to play and execute, because, Garrett's always going to be out there doing the right thing. This guy's like Spike Lee. So, he's going to be out there doing the right thing defensively, making the right passes, taking the right shots. Obviously, he's not going to hunt for his shot, but if he's open, again, just making the right reads. And he looked awesome tonight. I mean, the last couple of games when we've seen Garrett Temple hit the floor, he's really looked, defensively, really, really poised. Tonight, he took the assignment against Jordan Clarkson, who, I mean, Utah wasn't really offering that much out there, but it was I was either between Clarkson or maybe Isaiah Collier. Those were the two guys that were presenting the biggest threats offensively. And I thought, Garrett did an amazing job guarding Jordan, who's a very shifty player. You know what I mean? We know he's a professional scorer like that, and he did get buckets, but I think I only counted one, and it was a turnaround post-up bucket where no help came, and, Jordan was able to take 5-6 dribbles. I mean, if you don't double team a guy with 5-6 dribbles who can score, then, there's a good chance that they're going to get to an open spot. So, I don't even blame Garrett that much for that. Ultimately, he came up with a number of stops. And then Jamal Shead, I mean, tonight he had 3 steals and 2 blocks in 27 minutes, which is already really good. But it felt like he was just forcing turnover after turnover. And if it wasn't turnovers, he was forcing like missed shots or like rushing back in transition and getting a stop. I mean, he did a really great job of just organizing the team. And of course, like offensively, he came alive late. He knocked down 2 threes, basically to shut the door on Utah. Both times he was set up by Garrett Temple. One time it was a nice shovel pass in transition, right in the shooter pocket, right in rhythm. Jamal goes in and knocks down the 3. Another time Garrett's working the pick and roll, throws a cross-court pass to Jamal, and it's like, again, you don't expect a rookie and a veteran to be holding it down for you to the degree that those two were, but those guys played really well. And of course, like the rest of the guys played really well kind of around them. Again, those third unit guys, even though there's a real chance that they're not around for that much longer, they play hard and they play well for you. If it's an audition for these guys, they're all showing you exactly what they got. I mean, Orlando Robinson tonight didn't hit the 3, didn't shoot the 3, but 14 and 10 with 5 assists and 2 blocks off the bench in 34 minutes. I thought he played really solid. Had a nice block on Colin Sexton driving downhill, blocked it off the top of his head too on the way out, so that would change possession. But he had a couple composed finishes in the lane. I like to see those from him. Got to the foul line 8 times, knocked down 6 of those. Was again a presence on the glass, just as he always is. He's, certainly Utah tonight didn't have a lot of size because again they held out Walker Kessler, so it felt like he was the biggest guy on the floor and he really threw his weight around on there. AJ Lawson, I feel like he just continues to find ways to score. 18 points off the bench for him. This is now 3 straight games where he's had 30, 28, or no, yeah, 32. Sorry, I don't want to shorthand him. 32, 28, and now 18. In 3 games consecutively off the bench. I mean, if his name wasn't AJ Lawson, if his name was Jacoby Walter, or if his name was Grady Dick, or his name was Ochai Agbaji, we'd be going crazy over this. Like, we would. Like, doing the exact same plays, just a different jersey with a different person in it. We'd be going crazy over this. So, like, I say that to say that, like, it's not nothing that AJ Lawson stepped in here and really shown us something. I believe he's only on a 1-year contract. The Raptors obviously have the chance to sort of convert and maybe potentially sign him to a multi-year deal. Again, it depends a lot on sort of what they need to do in free agency and the roster spots. The Raptors certainly have a lot of players under contract for next year already, especially with an incoming draft pick or 2 this year in the draft. But still, I feel like he's actually done a really good job. And, I'd be pretty intrigued in terms of, like, what else can he do for the Raptors, going forward. So, in terms of a showcase, he's done a really good job just finding his opportunities to score. Didn't get as many chances to just hoist from 3, but he was able to, jump in for a putback. He was able to catch and shoot for a 3. He was able to, use his athleticism in transition. Did a really good job, as he has done, consecutively in these games of late. And, yeah, even Colin Castleton, who didn't miss a shot tonight, 13 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, 5 of 5 from the field, knocked down a corner 3. I've been seeing him work on those corner 3s a lot. He takes a lot of 3s in the warm-up. Sometimes the Raptors have played him as a 4 in sort of 2 big lineups, which, again, might be a tank move because, Darko has basically never played 2 big lineups other than more recently. But still, like, he has that ability, potentially to knock down those 3s from the outside. I mean, it's okay. I wouldn't say he's not exactly like Dirk out there, but at the same time, he has an ability to knock those down, and he knocked it down from the corner. He had a couple good finishes, catching it in the middle of the floor, especially obviously in the starting lineup when you have Scottie, IQ, and RJ out there. Those guys are putting pressure on the defenses, so a lot of centers are just going to get opportunities off of those drives where RJ gets downhill, and RJ's done a really good job feeding the middle off of those drives that the double team comes over to him. IQ's done a good job with that. Scottie obviously is always a great passer, so it's like, those guys are going to have to finish, but it's also like being composed, catching, finishing, not being too rushed about it. And, just in general, I thought he did really well. I mean, the Raptors tonight really did attack the paint really well. I mean, this is, again, a consequence of Utah not having their rim protectors out there. I mean, Utah's not a good defense in general, but especially if you take away Walker Kessler, who last game had 8 blocks as well. I forgot to mention that alongside of his 18 points and 25 rebounds. He also had 8 blocks. So when you take him out of the game and you take Lauri Markkanen out the game too for the second half, you're just going to have very little size in the middle. But nevertheless, the Raptors really were able to execute and capitalize on that. And then I think really the last thing before we bring in Alex and his, his latest mini 6-pack, as we cover some more miscellaneous topics across the league and, of course, take your questions, is, I think, look, if you're going to play your main guys, And of course, there's a serious debate to be had whether the Raptors should be playing these main guys or not for the tank. Again, we've talked about that every single game. It gets a little repetitive, but I know people want to talk about it. People want to argue about it, so that's okay. Just do that in the comments. But my thing is, if you're gonna play your guys, at least showcase and use that time productively. And I think the Raptors are really, really trying since IQ's come back healthy. And by the way, IQ's really hit a good patch here where he's been healthy and he's been really productive. Um, they've really done a great job of tying IQ and Scottie's minutes together. And so if you're going to use this minutes, use them productively and see what they have and build the chemistry again for moving forward. And I thought tonight was one of the, instances where IQ and Scottie combined really, really well tonight. And it was kind of more traditional kind of look tonight with IQ as the point guard and Scottie screening. I feel like the advantage here is that, you probably can work on, the inverse of that too, where Scottie's handling and IQ's screening for the ball. But this was more the traditional setup where the point guard has the ball and the bigger player comes over to set the screen. And the Raptors got pretty good offense out of that, especially in the end of the third quarter, start of the fourth quarter, a lot of sequences where IQ got that screen from Scottie. And if the double team didn't come up to IQ was shooting that thing from like 30 plus feet. I think IQ hit like a 32 footer tonight. Like that thing was really, really deep. And after he hits that, it was like, okay, Utah started jumping out at him. And so Quick was making the pass over the top to Scottie's short roll and going to the basket. And Scottie was either making the play and getting fouled himself, or he's making an extra pass for the kind of cutter, but basically playing in that sort of like 4-on-3 situation where it was like a little bit of like that mini Steph and Draymond dynamic between the two of those. And I just thought it looked really good. I thought Scottie Barnes in general tonight looked really good. Knocked down the three, which has always been encouraging. Obviously, he's really struggled with that this season, but he took a really moderate amount of threes. He went 1 for 2. You know what I mean? He didn't force any threes, didn't shoot the little pull-up three that he seems to really lack the touch for, or this season doesn't have the rhythm for it. But I also like seeing Scottie like take it strong to the basket. Again, Utah didn't have any shot blockers in there. And so, Scottie sometimes can be a little bit passive in terms of like attacking the rim, even though, you don't feel like you're getting like the full force of his physicality the way that, for example, you always see RJ going downhill no matter what. But tonight you saw Scottie on back-to-back possessions take it strong from the wing, and just dunk with 2 hands and finish strong against the Utah Jazz. You saw him do that a lot tonight. So he did a great job. RJ's played a lot more with the second unit, but he's done a pretty good job as well in terms of just setting guys up. I feel like his passing continues to be showcased here in terms of like leading that second unit, being a focal point of the offense, being a downhill driver, and of course making the tough shots. You know what I mean? Like when it comes to like tough buckets one-on-one, that in-between game where like the defense is locked in and there's a short amount of shot clock, RJ somehow finding ways, and they're never that pretty. They're kind of like pivot, turn around, like push shot from like 15 feet, but he's made a number of those down the stretch here, and he was really good too. So I mean, honestly, it was a good team win. The Raptors had 7 players play and finish with double digits in scoring. They didn't hit the three. Actually, they hit the three just fine. Actually, 12 of 32 is 38%, which is better probably than their season average. But they shared the ball well. They kept turnovers down. They played good defense. And I guess the only thing you would really quibble with is just should the Raptors have actually tried as hard as they did to win this game, or should they have punted it earlier? But again, we've been having this every single night. So if you want to debate it, go ahead and leave your comments in the chat. But quite frankly, I want to bring in my co-host Alex Wong here. It's late here on the East Coast, 12:30 p.m. What's going on, bro?
What's up, man? Alex Wong.
Oh yeah, sorry. Hold on. We got
streets were asking. A couple people are asking for that.
Oh, hold on. By the way, every time we play this drop, we are unable to monetize our video, but it's okay.
Oh yeah, we got like a YouTube notice.
No, it's okay. They're not gonna make us turn down the video. They're just like, yeah. By the way, somehow after just that, like, I would say 0.2 seconds of Drake, they somehow have, and it's, by the way, I pitched it down, like I changed the tempo.
No, OVO Enterprises, you don't understand. A few years ago when you played at the Raptors Republic 3-on-3 tournament, I had a friend of the program, Ben, from Yahoo, put together a quick 3-minute mixtape of you. And we put Drake music over it. It literally got taken down like within 2 minutes of it being posted.
Wow.
Yeah, so I know it's like a whole music industry thing, but OVO Mark and the rest of the OVO crew, they don't play, man. So
Arsh said, why does the Alex Wong drop sound like Giveon?
Who is Giveon?
Wait, what? Bro.
Who is this a local artist?
No, man.
Oh, who's Giveon?
Heartbreak Anniversary?
Oh, what is that?
I can't really do it justice, man.
Is this a new artist or old
Balloons are
artist?
deflating.
Is this like a new artist?
Guess they look lifeless like me.
Is this a new artist? What's going on?
It's like an R&B artist. I mean,
Oh,
he's
okay.
pretty good. He's a really good singer.
Yeah, I don't know. I
couldn't do it justice.
I just listen to Raekwon, man. But
okay, he's definitely not Raekwon.
Shouts to Unk, aka Garrett Temple, for guarding Jordan Clarkson. Yeah, Alex so old he doesn't know any artists below the age of 31. That's actually a really good call. You should
name the youngest artist you know. Actually,
I don't know. Sabrina Carpenter.
How old Sabrina, man? I feel like Sabrina's like 25. Oh yeah, she's 25.
All right. There we go.
All right.
Yeah, you should compile a list of artists one time under the age of 31. I bet you I would not know.
You know what? I might throw a couple of pop stars at you later on to see if you do a
later on.
Quiz. Yeah.
That's a threat, man.
Oh, this is Hello Welcome After Dark, by the way.
Oh, so, we're getting a bag for hello. Yeah.
Oh man, we'll explain it one day.
Yeah, what do you want to do? Questions first?
Let's do the questions and then we'll get to your actually
yeah, do questions first.
Let's do questions first. We'll take the questions, and then we'll get to your NBA mini 6-pack where you've collected 6 assorted thoughts around the NBA.
Sometimes around the NBA, yeah.
Okay.
It's just a 6-pack. Yeah.
It's just a 6-pack. It could be anything is in that 6-pack. So let's get to your questions, which you can leave here in the live chat here. Appreciate people staying up late on a Friday night to listen to me sing Giveon or Gavon. I don't even know how to say his artist name, but anyway, it's time now. Alex Wong.
Tangerine.
It's time now for the Tangerine Q&A segment. It's time. Tangerine is the official bank of the Toronto Raptors, foundational partner of the WNBA Canada and NBA Canada. And of course, no, you sound like Sleep Country at this point, man. Of course, they're not just fans of basketball, they're fans of basketball. They're fans of fans who have their own nickname for each guy in the starting 5, or fans who stand 5 inches from the TV all game, or fans who can recreate every player's layup package while sitting on their couch. And if you're hearing this, there's no doubting your commitment. Fans like you are at the heart of what makes this game great. So this year, for the Raptors' 30th season, Tangerine is turning the spotlight from the tank to the stands and celebrating the way Raptor fans support their team, because this is how we fan. To learn more, visit tangerine.ca/basketball. All right, Alex, what do we got, people? Whoa.
Fans of fans. Hold on, I'm just I'm just trying to find a question here. Yeah, here. First one is there any benefit in playing Brandon Ingram for a few games at the end of the season?
So you saw earlier today, someone on Raptors Twitter found that, or I guess screen capped it before the Raptors official Twitter account deleted it. But there was a picture posted of Brandon Ingram, who has been getting shots up pregame. It's pregame report. Wow, going international. But someone posted a picture of Brandon Ingram's pregame shoot around and said, soon.
Coming soon.
Yeah. Coming soon. Right.
Coming soon.
So that got taken down. I mean, I think that, like, man.
I love how Bobby was like, yo, take that down. Have you not seen the NBA investigating everybody on player participation policy? You post a tweet about coming soon Ingram and his ankle is still sprained in 4 weeks, we're screwed.
No, that one tweet might have cost the Raptors $100K in fines.
Brian Windhorst, by the way, was making fun of that on his podcast, saying that Brandon Ingram has the worst sprained ankle of all sprained ankles.
Hey, man, like a sprained ankle, he ain't nothing to be played with, man. When was the last time Brandon Ingram played basketball? Hold on, let's look at it. Brandon Ingram's last game
want to say November.
Was December 7th.
December 7th.
He came back for 2 games after missing a spell of 6 games in 7 out of 7. So the last game was the 7th. I mean, like, we've seen the ankle roll. Like, it wasn't a legitimate injury.
No, of course. But
it's just like
you guys have also
really
seen him
rehabbing it.
You've also seen him at practice and warm-ups, and I know there's not a lot of movement. Like, he's just maybe shooting drills and things like that. But
so can I tell you a couple of things? Number one, when I saw him last, which was Well, I guess no, it was the Wizards game this Wednesday. Was
Yeah.
it this Monday? Monday.
It was Monday
this week. Monday, I saw Brandon Ingram warm up, and I will have to say that he did not have any sort of like ankle braces on or anything. I mean,
Right.
Like it was just regular socks and shoes.
Yeah.
He got the shots up. It wasn't like a vigorous warm up. It was like he's getting shots, he's taking shots. He's not exactly playing even 1-on-1 against a coach or anything like that. But again, I can just say that there was no ankle braces or anything, extra ankle protection. The other thing too was I think over the last time I went to practice, I think, and they gave the update that like Brandon was still going to be reevaluated in 2 weeks. So this was I think a week ago now, and that he's getting one-on-one work in with coaches, but again he's not returning to practice or anything like that. And I was like, okay, all right, so that's like another 2 weeks, whatever. And then when we got let into the gym, because again, you get this report like from the PR, manager, like inside of the media room, and then sometimes you get let into the big gym where everyone else is. When we got into the gym, they just happened to put up like a couple cones, and then they had Ingram doing like the lightest warm up and lightest stretches of all time with Alex McKechnie in the background, and I'm like,
They're just putting on a scene for the media.
I was like, you could not have timed that better, man.
That's so funny, man. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you saw like the NBA is like investigating everybody now. They also launched an investigation into OKC, the best team in the league, for sitting all their starters against Portland.
Hey, way to go, big bad Adam Silver, bro. Way to lay down the law, son.
Adam, what are you doing? Like Adam Silver, man, like he has fallen off so hard. His last big hit was still suspending Donald Sterling for life, and we are approaching over a decade on that.
Hey, by the way, the way that Adam Silver said "for life," it was like the most anime way to say that, man.
He's gone for life.
Yo, that was sick, man. But anyway, I mean, I think with Brandon Ingram,
answer the question. Yeah.
As a fan, I would love to get a chance to see him, see what it looks like with the team, see what he's looking like. But also at the same time, as somebody who are more reasonable in terms of like what the Raptors' goals are this season for the remainder of the year, it is not to give you a sneak peek of Brandon Ingram. I mean, he's already signed under contract. If you want to get excited about Brandon Ingram and see him in meaningful minutes, just watch any of his highlight reels. Like, there's so many highlights of Brandon. Just watch, again, for people who maybe had remembered like or purged last year from their mind, look up Brandon Ingram against the Raptors, 38 points. Just watch that. That was, I think, 38 points in 3 quarters because the Raptors got blown out like crazy. Like, we just got to hold on till next year. You know what I mean? The rest of the season is basically just Orlando Robinson first option time. You know what I mean? So,
yeah, I was thinking too. So the Raptors are at 24 wins now. And I know at least one friend who put a large sum amount on the Raptors under 30 wins at the start of this season. They need to go 6-9 the rest of the way to hit the 30. I guess they would need to go 7-8 to go over 30, so it would be over. It is not out of the realm of possibility that they hit the over.
Wow.
Given the schedule, because like that's tough for anybody.
So funny, man.
Listen, I'm not here to feel bad for any bettors, but like man, like that under was looking like a guarantee early on in the season, and
I'm pretty sure we're gonna surpass. Well, I mean, we're definitely gonna surpass last season's record. Raptors last season won 25 games, 25 and 57. We're already at 24 and 43, as you mentioned. So unless there's another 15 game losing streak coming, like they did last season,
that's gonna be a tight race down the stretch, man. Next question. So someone mentioned, I wish we had Matt Thomas. It would be fun to watch him shoot 23s in these games, which brings me to the question for you. Which former random Raptor bench or third stringer would you love to see in this situation right now?
Oh, like it has to be a third stringer?
Yeah, just a guy that just be running with the Raptors right now as they're tanking.
I mean, just to fit the theme of like the Raptors tanking but it failing, like I think I'd rather I really want to see Ben Uzo. Remember, shout out to Ben Uzo.
Someone said Jeremy Lin.
Hey man, listen, man.
Hey, that's not a scrub, man.
Hey, so let's put some respect on a champion. Okay?
That's an Asian legend right there, man. Come on.
That's an Asian legend, man. That's right. And he ain't the restaurant that Alex ran into Michael Grange at back in the day.
Back in 08.
Back in 08 when he was a Grange stand.
Holy, I was only 23 back then.
He was like, yo, Grange, you eating that shumai? But also, he's like, yo, Grange, what you think? The Raptors getting Jermaine O'Neal? Is that going to work?
Yo, I was like the LeBron liar. I was like, yo, man, one day I'm gonna be working with you at Sportsnet, man.
Yo,
Gonna be booking you on my show.
Yo, Grange, one day you're gonna come to another Asian restaurant for my 40th birthday.
Yo, that's crazy. Yeah, for people that don't know, Michael Grange came to my 40th birthday.
It was a surprise birthday too.
Thanks to an invite from Will.
Hey,
so that was amazing. Yeah. Anyways, answer the question, man.
What was the question again?
Which former? I guess I'm trying not to say the word scrub.
Yeah.
But like, which former like end of bench guy would you love to see running with the Raps right now? Getting all these minutes.
I would love to see Ben Uzo come in because I feel like that's very symbolic. Because the last time the Raptors like had a very infamous failed tank, it was Ben Uzo. Remember when Game 82 of the season, it was Raptors versus New Jersey Nets, and the Raptors ultimately won that game by a lot. Actually, Ben Uzo had probably one of the ugliest triple doubles possible. It was like one of those like triple doubles where he goes like 4 for 19 kind of thing. And he had like an 11, 10, and 10. He had one of those, Rajon Rondo joints from back in the day.
Yeah.
And
yo, why are we making Jean Tabak Chinese, man?
Not the Zhang Dynasty.
Not Zhang Tabak.
Yo, they're making it one of those Western Chinese people, bro.
I don't want no trouble either, man.
But the Ben Uzo game was legendary because the Raptors winning that game made them into a 3-way tie for the 6th, 7th, and best, lottery odds in the league. And so they had to do a 3-way coin flip. The Raptors lost both of those. And so I think Portland got the chance to draft Damian Lillard with the 6th pick. The Warriors took Harrison Barnes at 7, and the Raptors took Terrence Ross at 8. So obviously, a bit of a brick. But basically, like, you're going to have to hope that you have better luck than this, basically.
Yeah.
No, man, what are we doing? Maybe he meant Shata Bokcho. That's crazy, though.
Yo. This is React Pod after hours, man. Get ready next week when games end at 1.
Woo.
That's not the reaction I was hoping for.
I'm excited, man. Yo, let's take relationship advice when we do that 1 a.m. one. Like real after dark hours.
Like giving advice or taking advice?
Both actually.
Here's another suggestion for fixing tanking.
Yeah.
Donkey, I'm sorry, man. It feels weird calling you Donkey. I wonder if the NBA would consider hurting teams' drafting position for tanking via a strike system. So first strike is a warning, and you get progressively pushed back in the draft. So say like you get fined in the player participation policy, like you lose a percentage of your draft lottery combinations at the end of the season. Like put some stakes on these investigations outside of just a financial penalty.
So I think what's difficult is it's hard to just because you have to actually put in like actual rules, right? Like you have to write those down, put those into place, and put basically like the consequence of breaking those set rules, like they're kind of doing right now with the player participation policy that they put in.
Right.
And so, there's always going to be ways if teams are willing enough to do it and if players are willing enough to play along for teams to get around it. Like, for example, they're like, okay, the league's like, okay, we're fining the Jazz because they sat Lauri Markkanen. So then they're like, okay, fine, we'll play Lauri Markkanen in the first half and won't play him in the second half.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then it's like, and then they can legislate it. They're like, well,
smart.
You have to play him both halves. And it's like, fine, we'll play him, 1 minute in the first half, 1 minute in the third quarter. Like, they're always going to find different ways to screw around with this thing, which is, once again, why I'm saying for the 10th straight show, just flatten the lottery odds, take away all the marginal incentive to tank, and then we can finally cut out, like, the root of the problem, which is that, like, these front offices are so competitive. They're all like filled with like people with like economics degrees who are building all these models. Maybe Daryl Morey's at Sloan Conference being like, we use AI to like make decisions for our
Don't
team.
Steal that from the 6-pack. Come on.
Okay, my bad. But my point is just like they're finding every edge, and I think that's like kind of what they're supposed to do, right? They're supposed to find every marginal edge, and as long as you can give an edge based on like an increased lottery odd, people are going to be taking that, and they're going to be sacrificing whatever they want in that process. So,
I think my radical idea for tonight is they should send a front office member from each team in the lottery to play in a one-on-one tournament for the odds.
Oh,
so Danny Ainge, I think Danny Ainge Might be a top seed there.
Let's see. I mean, I don't know, man.
You think Landry Fields? You think Landry Fields got that jump shot back for the Hawks?
I don't know, man. That nerve in the elbow might still not be working because they still have Kyle Korver as well, who's their GM.
The Sixers would send Elton Brand. I think he's still with the org.
Yeah, I mean Elton Brand might suit up for the Sixers based on the way they're moving.
So bro. Elton Brand, we got, man. We bringing Bobby. We sending Bobby Webster.
As somebody who has seen Bobby actually give people buckets, Bobby can hoop.
But Bobby's not gonna beat Danny Ainge or Elton Brand.
Well, I mean, how badly do you want that pick, bro? I better see Bobby diving on the floor and taking charges. I guess bro. This guy better be Kyle Lowry at the All-Star game.
I guess in this scenario, we will still be drafting 7th. So this doesn't really help the Raptors.
Nah, no, tanking doesn't help the league, man. Just flatten those damn odds.
Yeah. Next one. I don't know if we'll talk to Matt Devlin, but I swear he came really close to saying, "I am the lost son." Tonight, Matt did come close. We both ran into Matt this week too at the screening for We the North, from Prehistoric to Historic, now available on Crave. And I did.
Daryl Morey, not the only guy who used ChatGPT.
And I did formally pitch AJ kidding me to Matt Devlin, and his response was he literally walked off.
Yeah.
He just walked away from me. So
that's crazy.
Yeah. So not working.
Are you kidding me? This should be against the law, son.
That's an all-time call, man. All-time call.
Great nickname for AJ Lawson, though. Delano Brampton.
Oh man.
Thoughts?
Yeah, that's pretty funny, man.
Delano Brampton is pretty good.
Delano Brampton. That's not fair, though. They don't really play alike because, like, Delano's like a point guard, but the nickname's so good that you have to kind of roll with it.
Yeah, no,
Delano Brampton.
It's really good. So, shouts to Martial Arts Fights. Delano Brampton is the nickname. Yeah. But
honestly,
more requests for the Alex Wong drop. I guess I could do it too, but you can. Yeah. Still hidden. Might be a little overexposed at this point, but we're okay.
Can I ask you, like, are you impressed with AJ Lawson? Because he's had 78 points now in the last 3 games. And I said earlier was, like, if Grady had done this, if Jacoby was doing this, if Ochai was doing this, we'd be all going crazy for it.
I know, but I'm not trying to slight what he's doing, but you also just have to consider the circumstances, though, right?
But other players are in those circumstances, they're not doing that.
Sure. I mean, I would love to see him get a chance to, like, make the team next year or be part of the organization.
I feel like at minimum he's done enough to earn that.
Sure, yeah. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, like if
we're I'm not going to make a bigger deal of it than that.
Sure. And someone did mention, Lawson is 24. That's fine. I mean, like, when I'm cycling through end of bench guys, like, I don't really care about their age. Like, right. You know what I mean, this isn't like Garrett Temple going off. So I feel like, I don't know. It's just weird because it's like these guys are playing hard, and I feel like there should be some reward at the end of the tunnel in terms of, like, okay, you do really, really well. There's a chance for you to, like, not just play hard for nothing, at least Raptor wise. So
yeah,
he's done a really good job.
NBA is a tough business. You know what I'm saying?
Fair enough.
Yeah, Jimmy says if you're reading this, there's no doubting your commitment to the Raptors. So just a shout out to the listeners in the chat tonight.
Hey, appreciate you guys, man. Staying up late. You know what I mean? We're gonna be staying up even later. Ooh, Raptors Suns? Come on, man.
Oh, brother.
Who scheduled Raptors Suns, man? Wow, you see those Bradley Beal quotes today?
Oh yeah, he's like, ha. Jada Kiss laugh. I still have my no trade clause.
Yo, who says I still got my no trade clause, bro? He's just taunting everybody at this point.
Oh man, yeah, those are pretty much it for the questions.
Yeah,
it's just a lot of fighting about tanking, you know.
Oh, not again, guys.
Not really. Actually, the chat is pretty. They're vibing tonight. So
I think at some point you just gotta, like, it is what it is. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like the Raptors aren't trying. You could say if the Raptors are trying hard enough or not. But again, like, I do want to look at a situation where it's like part of the Raptors' inability to lose right now is because they actually have developed good habits. And this is where, like, you know, like I'm on record saying that, like, you know, like I've questioned Darko at times. Let's be real. But I'm giving him the absolute props right here because he set up a really good system right now where all seasons he's talked about we want to implement on defense. We want to implement on defense. We want to execute on defense. We want to have the ball pressure. This is going to be a focus of ours this season. Biggest reason why the Raptors are winning is because they've really been really good defensively. And part of that was because at first they were playing guys like Davion Mitchell or Bruce Brown and, you know, those vets who are really doing a great job of defending. But they've shipped those guys out, and that culture has lasted. You've seen, like, you know, everybody who comes in the game right now plays better. I mean, even RJ today. RJ, like, turned a guy at half court, ripped him, and then, you know, got out in the break for a dunk. It's like guys are all buying into that. And I feel like what you're seeing right now is even though the Raptors are putting different players in, the org and the team has bought into a winning kind of idea. And unfortunately, it's ruining the tank. But I think the ultimate goal is to get to this point where you have a healthy program. So it's like you're paying. That's what's so backward about tanking. Is like you've made actual improvements. Now you have to scale those back somehow. And you're unable to because you've actually made too much of an improvement. You know what I mean?
Yeah. They have also played like just a bunch of terrible teams that are also tanking for like a week and a half.
I mean, but you're going to play, like, you don't think teams will tank next year? You know what I mean? Like when the Raptors want to actually win next year.
Yeah.
And you got to stretch like this down the schedule. Like Raps might finish the season. Like if they were trying to, I feel like the Raptors could be on like a 10-game win streak right now if they weren't trying to tank. Like,
yeah.
I'm not crazy for that, right? Like they had the Chicago game, which like took a generational tank basically to end that one.
Mm-hmm.
They lost to
the Jamal Shead buzzer. Yeah.
Right, the Jamal Shead buzzer beater, which again should have been won. Other than that, they've just been winning. Like
yeah, again, this is like really the easiest schedule ever. I really underestimated this easy part of the schedule. I thought they were still going to struggle, but
yeah,
clearly not.
And teams are getting so creative in how they're tanking too. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, yeah. All right. Ready for the 6-pack?
It's time now for the Alex Wong 6-pack. We don't have a sponsor for this.
No, it's Unsullied. Yeah.
This is our version of Nito Stat of the Night.
Yeah.
Well, it's just a 6-pack, which we could adapt this idea to any sponsor. So just let us know. But as for right now, an unsponsored segment in the show where Alex Wong, for reasons only known to him, has decided to bring a 6-pack to every post-game show that we do live here.
It's the only way I can look forward to these.
So, Alex, what do you have for your 6-pack?
Yeah, we're just gonna have a quick intro here before we get going.
Put something on it. I sell ice in the winter. I sell fire in hell. I am a hustler, baby. I'll sell water to a well. I was born to get cake. Move on and switch states. Cap the coupe with a roof gone and switch plates. Never dictate. Never follow orders. Face get your.
Ooh, language.
That's crazy. I'm gonna learn all the lyrics of that song, man.
Getting a cease and desist from both Jay-Z and Drake is insane. Like, hello and welcome, you two about to disappear off the earth.
Oh, that's crazy, bro.
Someone said, damn, my phone just overheated. Sheesh.
Yeah.
All right.
Need Lindsay Dunn to recreate this with Nas. Hey, respect Lindsay, bro. Actually, I need to see Lindsay rap, actually.
Oh, man. Do we? Shouts to Lindsay.
I would love to see Lindsay rap.
All right, Bootleg 6-pack, still looking for a new name for this. So did you see the other night when Mikal Bridges hit the game-winning 3 against the Portland Trailblazers at the buzzer?
Yeah.
He received the iconic Mike Breen double bang.
Yeah.
So there's been 10 Mike Breen double bangs in history. Let's see how many of them you can name.
Well, the Steph Curry 2016 against OKC.
Steph Curry 2016 overtime.
Overtime.
Yeah. Where he pulled. No, this was in overtime.
Oh, this is in overtime.
Where he pulls up from just over half court.
Right.
With like 4 seconds left. And swishes the 3. Yeah. February 2016 received a double bang. This was the first ever Mike Breen double bang. I expect you to get maybe like
first ever.
Yeah, I expect you to get maybe 3 of these. Some of them are really random.
Did Kyrie's shot get a double bang then that year 2016 as well?
Nope. Kyrie's did not receive a bang.
He just got one bang for hitting the game-winning 3 in a Game 7? Okay, wow.
Yep.
Are there? Give me some hints, man. Give me some hints. A lot of these are probably Knicks games, right? Like, did Jalen Brunson get a double bang?
Not yet. So let's go to the bubble playoffs in the first round.
Bubble playoffs first round.
A player on either the Mavs or Clippers received a bang.
Did Luka get a double bang?
Yeah, Luka got a double bang, step back 3 in overtime to beat the Clippers.
Right.
That was the only double bang that Mike Breen handed out.
By the way, that was because we looked at Kawhi's minutes recently. That was the last time Kawhi played 46 minutes.
Oh, yeah. Someone said no dunks did a whole segment on this. I guess I didn't listen to it.
It's fine. We're bootleg no
Sorry,
dunks.
guys.
We're bootleg Phil Simmons fun. What you guys want, man?
Anyways, the last few double bangs, Dante DiVincenzo got one. Game 2 comeback against the Sixers in the playoffs. Last postseason when they had that frantic comeback and he hit a 3.
Yeah.
But Mike Breen's definitely got, obviously he calls a Knicks game. So he's obviously got that Knicks bias.
Yeah. Who's like the worst Knick to get one? Is it Dante?
Yeah, well, the worst person to get one, Eric Gordon got one.
Gordon
in 2019. A double clutch 3 over Rajon Rondo and the Lakers to send the game to overtime.
This is the oldest double bang of all time.
And then I think Mike Breen went like
Gordon over Rajon Rondo. What are we in 2010?
You know what? 2 months later, the pandemic happened, so there might be a correlation. The basketball gods were like, you can't give Eric Gordon a double bang, Green. We're going to shut down the whole world because of this, man. This is bullshit.
Yeah, basically. I mean, come on, man.
Anyways.
This isn't even inflation. This just feels random, you know what I mean?
I feel like the double bang should be reserved for the playoffs and like rare regular season moments. I don't even think Mikal Bridges' 3 should have gotten the double bang.
I feel like now that you told me that Eric Gordon has got a double bang, I feel like we need a triple bang.
Yeah.
Like some sort of exclusive tier level. And from that point onward, it's just like, it's got to be a game winner.
It's got to be like from half court or something, man.
Something crazy, yeah. Something crazy. Got to get a triple bang.
But I feel like if you do the triple, like you can only maybe pull that out like once ever. Like I don't think you can make that a regular thing.
What's he gonna pull it out? I mean, Kawhi's buzzer
and
beater.
But then people are gonna start asking for a quadruple bang. It's just gonna become a parody.
Like it's gonna be it's gonna be stupid, man.
It's just gonna become a parody at some point, man.
Yeah.
Next up, Sixers GM Daryl Morey, like you hinted at, was at a panel at the Sloan Analytics Conference, which I believe he founded.
Yeah.
And he admitted that he uses AI to help make front office decisions. Is Daryl Morey the most overrated GM of this generation?
Man, I mean, I suspect Daryl Morey's probably not the only GM in the league that's using AI or using some sort of like, predictive tool, essentially. It's not that different, I guess, like different models that they would build out and project on their own. I think this is just like using artificial intelligence to have it build on its own. But like it's not I guess it's like this is kind of the direction the world's moving in.
To be fair, everything's got a bit of AI he says AI gets like a vote in the decision. Like it doesn't make the decisions for them. Right, it's just part of the decision.
AI's like
sign PG.
AI's like, I don't think you should sign Joel Embiid to a max contract extension for no reason while he's really banged up, but okay. But yeah, I mean, I do feel like this is probably going to be more common just moving forward. Like teams are going to be finding ways. I remember one day in practice this year, Aaron Rose popped up on Darko and just asked kind of out of nowhere. He's like, would you ever use AI to help you in coaching?
Yeah.
And I think Darko gave like a pretty like open-ended question, but he's just like, yeah, we don't have a certain application for it yet, but we could look into it.
Darko's like, if my lead assistant, Scottie Barnes, wants to.
He's like, I don't know. Let me check with Scott first.
Uh-oh. Careful. Yeah, so AI is creeping into basketball is the takeaway there.
They're calling him Messiah AI, Ujiri.
No, man, it's getting late. Hold on, I lost my notes app here for a second.
No, it's all good. I mean, but it is very funny to imagine like Daryl Morey being like, ChatGPT, what should I do?
Yeah.
How would you manage the Sixers?
Number 3, Jason Sudeikis confirmed today that Ted Lasso is coming back for season 4. Do you care?
Didn't Jason is Jason Sudeikis still with Olivia Wilde?
I'm not sure. I'm not really on the Jason Sudeikis subreddits. Yeah.
Okay, Olivia. Yeah.
Remember we talked about how we had to adjust for shows that came out during the pandemic?
So, wow, they ended the relationship? Okay. Damn. Bro, you can't be fumbling Olivia Wilde, man.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Answer the question, are you excited about Ted Lasso coming back?
As somebody who even likes soccer, no.
Yeah, Ted Lasso was really good for season 1, and part of that I think was pandemic adjusted, because I feel like everyone just wanted to watch like a feel-good show.
Oh yeah, what was the craziest thing you like talked yourself into during the pandemic? You're like, oh, this is fire.
Man, that's a tough one.
Did you like Tiger
King?
Tiger King? Yeah, Tiger King.
Yeah, I watched Tiger King. I don't know if I watched any terrible shows during the pandemic. I was busy running a 5 a day Stephen LeBron radio.
Stephen LeBron radio might have been a pandemic fan too. Just kidding, bro. You weren't around for 2020 Stephen LeBron radio, bro. That was giving people life, man. I'm not even kidding.
2013 Stephen LeBron radio. Come on.
Oh man, I was around for that, bro.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't watch anything terrible. Did you rewatch shows? Like, I think I just rewatched a lot of shows.
What was I doing at that time, man? I mean, there was no NBA. Obviously, like the world was on pause. A lot of productions were shut down. I mean, like we were basically doing like it felt like as a family, people were coming together to watch like Last Dance.
Yeah, not my actual family, but yeah.
Well, it would take more than a pandemic to bring them together. But no, but I mean, what was I watching back then?
Yeah, the pandemic was
actually, I started watching Industry back then.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah.
I think I was doing like rewatches of like Sopranos, like Veep, the usual shows. They were like comfort shows,
Damn.
So,
yeah, what was the pandemic like solo, man?
I don't know, man. I was just doing pods every day.
Yeah, fair enough. Yo, back then, you don't understand. Alex was doing any pod on Stephen LeBron radio. Like, we did a whole Rush Hour reaction podcast.
Yeah.
We did a Rush Hour 2 reaction podcast. We did Enter the Dragon. We
did
Crazy Rich Asians.
I've archived them all now, so we can redo them for a new audience.
Oh, my God. Yo, honestly, if you weren't around for that, I'm telling you, that was the peak. That was actually peak Alex and Will content. Like,
yo, that was peak, man.
You also had episodes where you got Assad on just to talk about accounting.
Yeah, this is post peak.
Okay, maybe that was post peak.
Tim Bontemps.
Bontemps.
Tim Bontemps talked to another executive for an article about teams that are rebuilding and tanking, and this other executive said, "I don't like."
You good?
Excuse me. I don't. This executive said, "I don't like what Toronto is doing. Trying to flip it quick is dangerous." Thoughts on this executive's statement on the Raptors' timeline of rebuilding?
Yeah, I mean, I know there's a whole economy around like this idea of like anonymous scout, anonymous GM says. It just always feels to me like it's just always funny to me because it's just like you're just whispering. You know what I mean? It's almost like dirty Mackie. You're just like whispering, like it's not your business, but you're just like kind of like getting in there. Not to say that that's not good reporting from Tim Bontemps, but like, yeah, I mean, I think there's some truth in that, right? Because like, if you go for these sort of, quick turnarounds and it doesn't necessarily work out in terms of like you didn't time it right or you didn't get the right person to fit into the existing group, you start setting expectations to win when you're clearly a team that's probably going to be like true talent wise, like 30-ish wins. You know what I mean? When you set the expectations to win, sometimes that leads to you, ultimately losing your job. I think that like worse, again, like I'm already on record saying I'm a pretty big fan of this Brandon Ingram addition. I really like him a lot. But like if it doesn't work out, like because he has injuries or it doesn't fit in or, chemistry's all off or whatever, again, there's a world where this exists. It's just, I don't think it's likely. But like worst case scenario, it could be like similar to like when the Raptors got Rudy Gay. Towards the end of that, when they were trying to be like, okay, well, we don't have a small forward. We get a small forward in here. Maybe him and DeMar and Kyle become something. And obviously that didn't work out. Again, like I've said many times, like I really like this Brandon Ingram trade. I I see the reasoning behind it. I think it fits the team. I think he's also just a better player than Rudy Gay was. But that ultimately proved very dangerous for Brian Colangelo, who ultimately lost his job. That was kind of his last gasp at it, right? So I can understand where they're coming from, but also at the same time, it just feels like dirty business to be like, yo, man, that could be dangerous. You could lose your job behind that.
Like, we gotta put some names to these.
Put your name on that, then. You know what I mean? Put your name on that, or don't give that quote. You know what I mean?
That's right. What's next, man? Anonymous podcasters. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Like,
we got to put our names and faces to everything that we say. Why can't execs?
The funniest thing to me is Anonymous Scout.
Oh yeah.
Anonymous Scout is probably like the lowest form of this. Anonymous GM, like it happens. Like everybody, really seasoned reporters.
What's lower than Anonymous Scout? Anonymous fan. Heard outside Scotiabank Arena, the Raptors tank is half-ass.
Yo, like the scalper outside was like, "Yo, man, this team sucks." Like,
yo, man, front office stinks.
The funny thing with Anonymous Scout, not to say that like this is all instances, but sometimes, especially when you're in America, I feel like scouts don't come to Canada nearly as much, just because like you got to cross the border.
Yeah,
but
tariffs.
Like when we were in LA at the Intuit Dome, I remember just like sitting there, and there was just like two other scouts just like chatting with each other nonstop about like whatever, just like random shit, and it's just like, is it just media being placed in the same table as those scouts, and then they end up chatting about something during a boring game, right? And then they're like, "Wow, just run with it with Anonymous Scout." It's like, dude, I mean, you're just publishing like pure hearsay at that point, man.
Yeah, no, I once sat next to Pap So. He was like a scout for the Spurs at the time or something.
Yeah,
and he would just be like, spewing stuff to another scout about all the players in the game and stuff.
Right, and then you'd be like, "Yo, Anonymous Scout said this."
Yeah,
like you know what I mean? Like it's just like, all right, bro. Like what else? It's just like it's literally like reporting on a water cooler at times.
Yeah. Number 5 here. After 13 years. Sources close to the Eglinton Crosstown LRT project says the long-awaited line is finally expected to open in September. Is this going to change your life at all?
Let me see where. I guess let me see the map first, because obviously, like, I mean, I live close enough to the middle of the city. My parents live close enough to Eglinton. That like this actually would be
dox your whole
pretty
family.
Helpful.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna dox my whole family, but like they live near like 427 and 401, so it's like pretty close to Eglinton.
Yeah.
So I guess this doesn't really actually help, because right now it goes from Kennedy to Mount Dennis, which is basically like Kiel and or like Jane and Eglinton. So
yeah.
Like
so
Black
this
Creek,
news has no effect on your life.
Not really. I can't really see myself personally using this, but again, like for a large portion of my life, I lived near Eglinton. Like I lived a lot of like Scarlet Eglinton for a long time. Before that, I was at like Weston and Lawrence, so it was like pretty close enough to like require going across town, across Eglinton. I think they're actually intending to build this thing out eventually to like connect to Mississauga. So
how long is that gonna take? Another 20 years?
I mean, I've seen it built. Like I've seen the construction. Like you know what I mean. So like again, like that doesn't promise anything in Canada, but yeah, I mean, my middle school, for example, was Eglinton and Martin Grove. So like this could have been very useful back in the day. Now I don't live that close to Eglinton, and I don't really go across the city like this. But yeah, I mean, it's cool. I see one of the stops says Science Center. I guess that's got to be up there.
The former Science Center.
That's what I'm saying. It says Aga Khan Park and Museum, and then Science Center, and then Sunnybrook Park. It would be cool going to Sunnybrook, I guess, because I used to play a lot of Ultimate Frisbee in Sunnybrook. And it used to take forever to go across the city, bro. You got to go south, go to the 1 line, or go to the 2, like the Bloor line, go all the way across the city, then take the bus all the way up, then walk across giant ass Sunnybrook Park. So, yeah, I don't know. It goes to Lee Side. I guess that's where Zach Eady's from.
Oh, nice. Yeah, you're more of an up express guy, anyway. So,
hey, man.
Yeah, catch him on the up, man. Just wait for him at the Bloor stop.
Don't catch me at the up, bro. Don't catch me at the up. Don't catch me not tapping my Presto at the up, man.
Number 6, Dallas Mavericks current starting guard Dante Exum broke a bone in his left hand tonight and now is out for the season. Are the Mavericks officially cursed?
Who's still on the Mavs, man?
Well, Omax Prosper is out with a season-ending injury. Anthony Davis is out. Right. Derek Lively is out. Daniel Gafford is out. Kyrie, of course, is out for the season.
And now,
now Dante Exum is out for the season.
If I had to guess, like, okay, so Najee Marshall's still around for them.
Klay Thompson.
Clay's still around for them.
Dwight Powell.
Dwight Powell's indestructible.
Actually, Dwight Powell ran into a teammate the other night, so I think he might be out as well.
Nah, Dwight Powell getting like hit in the face every single day, so I'm sure he'll be out eventually.
Yeah.
Who else is on that team, man? Jaden Hardy, is he available? Is that he's
so
still on the team?
So they lost by 30.
Spencer Dinwiddie.
So they lost by 37 tonight, and they played 9 guys.
Okay.
So Najee Marshall, we mentioned.
Yeah.
Exum was in the game before he left. Klay Thompson, Dwight Powell, Dinwiddie, you mentioned.
Oh, Max Christie.
Yeah, Max Christie.
Yeah.
Brandon Williams.
Who?
I don't know.
Brandon Williams.
And Kessler, don't call me Walker Edwards.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Is on the team as well.
Wow.
So.
That's unbelievable. The fact is, like, other teams are tanking, and now and the Mavs are just like, God has made them tank, basically. They're like,
well, the Mavs are still,
God, it's crazy.
They're still 1.5 games up on Phoenix for the final play-in spot. Which again, get rid of the play-in, man. Bradley Beal wants to go home. The Mavs are clearly tanking. Like, don't force these teams to play a 9-10 game.
No, we got to read out the exact Bradley Beal quote, bro. It's so funny to me, man.
Stupid.
This is what Bradley Beal said. Quote, I'm still playing in the NBA. I still have the best job in the world. And I still have my no trade clause. So I'm smiling every day.
Honestly, respects to his agent. Probably,
that's amazing, bro.
Probably
that's like a professor being like, yo, man, I still got my tenure. You can't touch me.
Probably Mark Bartelstein for negotiating that no trade clause, man.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was.
Him and LeBron being the only 2 guys in the league with no trade clauses is crazy.
Yeah,
man.
I don't know how that worked. All right, that was tonight's 6-pack for you.
That's pretty good 6-pack. I like it. You know, a little local.
Back at it on Sunday already, working on the next one.
Hey, we got a couple more questions here.
Oh, we do? Okay.
First off, we got Top Shot Tesla, who once again has sent in $5. Appreciate you, dude. Maury's definitely the thirstiest GM in the league. Hashtag Kesha.
Yeah, Maury's thirsty, man.
The fact that why is the sports conference in the middle of the season? I guess there's nothing for him to do between like now and like the rest of the year. But aren't you supposed to be scouting and stuff? Like, why are you taking time out of the season to host the whole conference?
Yeah,
well, you know he's busy. Like, you know he's busy with something like this.
Yeah.
Like that's not. I mean, I'm just saying it's that's got to be a little thirsty as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
when you're actively promoting yourself as king of the nerds.
And this guy used to be Dork Elvis, man. Yeah.
I mean, he probably still is Dork Elvis, man.
Yeah. All right, what else we got?
Another one from Top Shot. The dog whistling from execs about Masai is wild. I always do feel like that's definitely a little bit part of it. When you look at all the GMs in the league, when you stack up their rosters and their resumes, Masai certainly stands out.
Yeah.
He's, you know, the only exec from Africa. He's one of the few execs who did not play, you know what I mean, in the league or like has that sort of connection, you know what I mean? And, you know, also I feel like Masai's built up some enemies, man. I mean, obviously James Dolan is pretty clearly he's one of them, but like I'm sure you got other ones out there.
Only white GMs are allowed to rebuild, man.
You know what?
Not to create a Kanye West.
Wait, hold on.
Mike Myers situation. Here.
Hold on. Okay, so what's the definition of this? Like,
I don't know.
Rebuild for how many years?
I never hear no criticism. Whenever Sam Presti does it, it's genius. Whenever
I mean, he's done a great job though. We
I
can't
know,
even hate on
but
that.
while
one.
it was happening though, like Sam Hinkie was being praised as a genius for taking that step.
Yeah.
What did he ultimately?
What
did he ultimately accomplish?
I feel like Sam Hinkie was trying to prove a point more than he was trying to like build a champion. You know what I mean?
I just think certain GMs get praised for rebuilding. Like Danny Ainge is some genius for rebuilding again.
Yeah, I mean, well, yeah,
So-
we'll see what Utah does, but they're most likely going to tank again next year because you know the 2026 like projected first overall pick, like that year's Cooper Flag is going to be AJ DeBanza, who's already going to BYU.
Sure.
Also, by the way, why did BYU suddenly have all this money that like I guess this is like the brave new world where like you have so much money going to college now.
Yeah.
With the NIL, that like teams like BYU just have like here's like $2 million and we could just like probably more than two. How much? I feel like these like Cooper probably made like $10 million this year between endorsements and just getting paid direct from Duke or whatever.
Yeah.
Because I was even talking to this is crazy, but I was even talking to like agents, like unnamed agents say.
Oh God.
But I was even talking to an agent, and it was like I realized if you're trying to find a job in the NBA right now, you should become an agent because there is so much money now in college to be had, and players obviously don't have representation. And there's obviously a relatively new field in terms of like players needing like people to actually represent them, negotiate these deals, make sure they're not getting screwed, all that kind of stuff. They are signing away their name, likeness, and image. That like there is a lot of money to be made in college right now. It's almost like obviously you're not going to make as much in college as you would in the NBA, but at the same time, there's still lots of money to be made. I mean, you take 10% off the top of like even your average player in the, that's like in the SEC, for example, is probably if you're starting and you're an average player in the SEC, you're probably getting like $750K. You take 10% off that's still pretty good. You know what I mean? And you get like 5 different clients, all of a sudden you're actually caking. So, did people care about unnamed GM, the unnamed agent, this report?
No, okay. I checked out.
Top Shot Tesla also said, well, TTC is now enforcing fare evasion on buses. Man, guys, I do pay for the TTC.
Yeah, as you should, man. The other day, I accidentally double paid, man. Yeah.
What do you mean you double paid?
Because I tapped with my credit card, and then the next time, I was still within that 2-hour limit.
Yeah.
And then I tapped with my credit card. Yeah, so I paid twice.
Like, did you tap with the same credit card? Because they actually
I paid with 2 different cards.
Oh wow.
Always happy to support the city. Canada is not for sale.
I'm surprised that you actually were on the TTC twice.
Yeah, because we had to have that work meeting. Yeah.
Oh wow. Oh wait, so you took the subway?
Yeah.
How was your subway experience, man? Give me your subway review.
I love the
line
subway.
1 review.
I love the subway, man.
So you got out at St. Andrew, not to dox you, but you probably got out at St. Andrew.
Yeah, it's vibrant. Yeah. It's a vibrant thing. Yeah.
I've been on the subway with Alex many times, bro. He's very jumpy on that subway.
Come on, man. What is this? From Top Shot Tesla, Alex with the bars. Same with the short leash for black coaches.
Look at Billups' redemption while Ainge top exec and constantly at the bottom. Yeah, I mean, honestly, like I think there's a real factor that goes into that for sure. You know what I mean?
Yeah, any profession there is some racism happening. So
wow.
Yeah. I don't know what else to say.
Truly revolutionary statement from Alex.
Yeah.
Wong, bro. Make sure. Hey, by the way, Asian Heritage was coming up in May. Make sure you book Alex.
No, man, I'm not for sale no more, man. The color of my skin is not for sale.
Wow, bars.
How about that, man? Letterboxd follower update, guys. Thank you so much. I'm at 71 followers. Please follow me at Steven LeBron. Once I get to 100, that's all I want for my vanity.
Really?
Someone was like, Alex's Letterboxd is so dry.
Wait, hold on. We gotta prove this,
guys. I apologize.
Pull up some of your recent. Let me pull up your Letterboxd. Hold on.
My Letterboxd is really dry. I don't even write reviews anymore. I just log them with a rating now. So
what?
So I just want you to know that I'm not trying to guarantee you guys a fun experience. This is just for my vanity. To get to 100 followers on that.
Wait, so when can I actually see what you wrote? Okay, I'm on your page right now.
Yeah.
So the latest one that you wrote a review for, 5 stars for We the North from prehistoric to historic. The review says, wait, can I actually see this? Great doc, 2 exclamation marks with 3 likes. I feel like this might be a little biased considering you produced and were in this.
I mean, yeah, no shit.
Yo, that's crazy.
You think Scorsese's giving his own movies 3 stars?
He also recently watched Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
Rewatch, come on now.
Gave it 4.5 stars. Yeah. The review said, I remember renting this from Blockbuster back in the day and deciding this was going to be my favorite movie for like 6 months. That's a pretty good Letterboxd review.
I'm not trying to just break it down, like I'm just here to log the movies.
Okay.
And occasionally if I want to leave a comment, I will. So I apologize for any false advertising that you guys thought you were going to get some crazy cinephile breakdowns of Godfather 2.
January 2025, January 19th of this year, you watched The Social Network again.
Yeah.
The review was all-time, quote, need to throw a movie on in the background movie.
Oh, this is Social Network. We were talking the other night about movies that you would play on an airplane.
Yeah.
Social Network is all time for me, man. Like I could watch that movie anytime. I don't know why. Yeah.
Oh my God, Mikey and Nikki's on here. Yo,
Mikey and Nikki, baby.
You really are a Mikey and Nikki stan, man.
I will be vindicated when we do a pod about Mikey and Nikki this summer.
Mikey and Nikki is a 1976 film. You gave it 5 stars after you watched and reviewed it July 7th of 2024. Yeah. And your only review for this was 24 hours to live. What did you mean by that?
Yeah, that's just the description of the movie.
I
had 24 hours to live. Yeah.
That's it? Bro, what's your thoughts of the movie, man?
I'm not there to give my thoughts. These are like my tweet-sized thoughts on movies. And back then it was private, so only I saw these. This was like me dapping up Moses Moody at the clutch party. It was just for my entertainment.
Hold on. Let me see more of these, man. The Devil Wears Prada.
Yeah.
4 stars. Your review is what a toxic work environment.
It was a very toxic work environment.
You know what? These are not bad.
Yeah.
These are pretty good.
Anyways, follow me. Follow me once I get to 100. That's all I want for vanity's sakes. Yeah.
Wow. The Banshees of Inisherin. I did watch that
stars,
recently.
Baby. 5
that was
stars.
a very beautiful film.
5
Loved
stars.
it.
It's so funny.
And you just have 5 stars, funniest movie ever.
Is that my review?
I feel like you could put more work into
I was
these,
really
man.
well. I was private back then. This
Who
was
are you writing
not
these
for
for
anybody.
yourself?
Yeah.
Everything, everywhere, all at once. The only good multiverse movie. You know what? I like that. See, you know what? They're hit and miss.
I put some work.
Triangle of Sadness, 2 stars. Decided to check out some Oscar-nominated films. This one falls apart once the shit falls apart. I'm crying at these, man. He's so good.
Yo, see? You gotta understand Stephen LeBron to appreciate the Letterboxd.
I'm dying. Some of these are so earnest, man. You're Ernest Hemingway over here, bro.
All right, no more, man. I'm going back to private.
No. Past lives, bro. Past lives. This one
lives.
hit for me. No.
Oh no. Oh no. I wonder what I was thinking.
What did you mean by that, bro?
Oh
what
my
did you mean?
Oh my god.
Oh, I wish I didn't open that one. My bad, bro. This felt too private. Too private to say that out loud in the pod, man.
Saving Private Ryan over
What you
here,
say about
man.
Oppenheimer, man? 3.5 stars. Christopher Nolan movies always got to be 50% too confusing. Listen to 50 hours of podcasts about Oppenheimer afterwards.
I did. I was like, this guy's so interesting, but the movie sucks.
Yo, guys, please follow.
Yo,
at
please
Stephen
follow.
LeBron on Letterboxd for this great insight into movies and film in general.
Come on, man.
Whew.
All right, that's it, man.
This is a good pod, guys. I know that these been pretty
You can't
late.
call your own pod good.
Okay, you just gave your own documentary 5 stars.
Yeah, it's called supporting my own work. Yeah.
What do you mean?
Basically, We the North is the same as Past Lives. Yeah, they both hit me. They both hit me the same in the gut. Yeah.
Goodness. Oh goodness, man. Yeah, my bad. I wish I didn't review that.
Nah,
I wish I didn't
chill,
read that
bro.
review, man.
It's chill, bro. You know, I'm emotionally scarred.
I'm gonna give you a hug next time I see you, bro. That's tough. I know our therapist is gone, so
I think she's back in April, man. I hope so. Yeah. I'm hanging on by a strap.
No, that first therapy session, I'm about trauma dump. Literally, I'm a trauma dump.
Yo, that first session's about to be longer than Oppenheimer. I'll tell you that one.
She's about to listen to 50 hours of podcast to understand the context.
Oh man. All right. That's it.
Hey,
give your awards.
Need Turning Red and DD rewatchable-esque reviews on Hello and Welcome. Honestly, we actually thought about just doing like a Hello and Welcome film club where we, in the summertime again, when nothing's going on, but we still want to hang out with people. We all decide to watch a movie together, and then we come together and actually talk about it.
Yeah, we also might have a little Apple podcast situation happening soon that we'll tell you about. So
damn, bro, we official like that?
Yeah, so
we official like that?
Where we might be doing some bonus episodes.
Yeah.
Which will be probably the movies, and you might be able to get an ad-free feed.
Yo, because I did see someone on Reddit today. They posted our the NBA six pack. One of the top comments was like, "Yo, I love the format. This is great." Someone's like, "Yo, it really helps them focus on basketball," and they're like, "Yo, sometimes their pods are so unserious." I'm like, "Bro, what are you expecting? The Raptors are unserious right now, man."
This
you
is
either
why
you either vibe with it right now, or you can't. That's it. It is what it is, man.
that's why I don't read comments, man.
Oh, hello, welcome AV Club. Yeah, that sounds pretty good.
I just watch movies.
Yeah. Oh man.
All right. Awards.
Let's get to your 3 stars from this game between the Raptors and the Utah Jazz that will go down as an instant classic. Your 3 stars from this performance. First star, I'll give it to Scottie Barnes. I really like Scottie's game in this one. I thought he was super physical going downhill, attacked the rim, had 2 dunks, but just took it to the rack consistently. I thought him and IQ played a good 2-man chemistry together. He continues to bring that great intensity. He got 20 points, 10 rebounds, 3 assists, a steal in all just 24 minutes, plus 13 in that stretch as well. Basically, every time Scottie was on the floor, he was able to sort of extend the lead for Toronto. I thought, again, like he hit all the objectives you wanted to see. Number 1, leading with sort of his effort, his energy, his defense. Number 2, the chemistry with IQ, because, again, they really, really want to highlight that particular pairing. And then just his own game in terms of getting himself efficient, going to the line, getting to the basket. He did a great job of it. So great 2-way performance from Scottie Barnes in this one. Your second star, honestly, it's probably IQ, but realistically, I really want to shout out Jamal Shead. I really liked what he did in the second unit there. 11 points, 2 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals, 2 blocks. He just got so many stops. Like, it's one of those games where I got to go back and watch not just the clips of the steals and the blocks, but also some of the other extra hustle plays he made. Like, Jamal was just so disruptive defensively tonight. He did a great job. There's one time where he, Lauri Markkanen drove, and he just ripped him. And Lauri Markkanen is like a 7-footer who's strong, big, in his prime. Jamal shit just ripped him and, out-muscled him and then took the ball away. Like, I love Jamal, man. Took a moving screen. He's great. And then your third star, once again, anytime Garrett Temple does well, I want to give him a star. This guy was just as disruptive as Jamal was. 6 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals. Did a great job, especially just bringing calm to that second unit. I feel like Jamal sometimes can really drive a lot of the offense by going really quickly, but sometimes he throws some bad passes or whatever. It gets a little erratic. Garrett's just in there to keep a cool, calm presence about the whole game. Honestly, it's really eye-opening that all these players are so hyped up, and then all of a sudden they can't score on Garrett Temple. It's it shows you 2 things. 1, Garrett still got a game, and number 2, some of these guys are a little bit overhyped because they're playing meaningless games. But that's your 3 stars from this win over Utah. Your Gerald Henderson Award winner. I'll give that to. I'll give that to Bryce Sensabaugh. I know a lot of people get really excited about Kyle Filipowski, and certainly he's shown you that offensive skill set, but I feel like I watched him a lot defensively tonight, and everybody can just walk straight to the basket against this guy. So this might be a more a more buff version of Kelly Olynyk, but it just didn't necessarily feel that impressive on the defensive end. It felt like he gave a lot of that back. Offensively, was certainly really good, but Bryce Sensabaugh, he's an interesting guy because he feels like he only gives you buckets. But he's got a strong body. He's got really long arms. He's got a mid-range game. He knocked down some threes tonight. Intriguing prospect. I'll just say that much. And I guess I'll be tracking to see how Bryce Sensabaugh develops on the Utah Jazz.
Brother.
I don't even believe that shit. No way.
Also,
man.
was that KJ Martin Jr. wearing 99?
Yeah, they got a new Boss Man 99, man.
They got a 99 and a 00, man. They got all the jerseys covered.
No, man.
Those Jazz jerseys are ass. That's my takeaway from this game.
Speaking of ass, let's hear some more Letterboxd.
No.
Reviews. This one, Hustle, 2022 movie. Watched September 1st, 2023. Your review was Kyle Lowry can't act.
He can't, man. He was terrible in that movie.
He didn't convince you? Wasn't he playing himself?
Yeah, he was so bad, though. He was so awkward.
He didn't convince you of himself?
Kyle Lowry playing Kyle Lowry was terrible.
You didn't buy Kyle as Kyle?
Kyle was one of the worst performances I've ever seen from anybody.
Turning Red. Any Toronto-based Asian film is automatic 4 stars. Yo, I can't trust your credibility, bro. You just put Turning Red higher.
I ain't credible, man.
You just put Turning Red ahead of Oppenheimer, bro.
Yeah, I'm allowed to not like Oppenheimer and the self-indulgent work of Christopher Nolan, man.
Wow. Yeah. See, that's cutting right there. That's nice. I like that.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. All right, don't give it all away. Come on, man. People
right.
got to follow to see the rest.
One last one from about Air, 2.5 stars. Nike lands Michael Jordan at the end.
You know, I had myself a good chuckle writing that one for myself.
Hey, yo, you are cooking for yourself, man. You cooked.
Yo. I was Anthony Bourdain on that one.
Yo, no, that's crazy, man. Yo,
You should get Letterboxd though. I like it as a way to see what movies people are watching and stuff.
Yeah. Okay, all right.
Yeah, and Letterboxd is like pretty popping right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the kids are messing with
yourself, man. No, I love it, man. I love it. Honestly, love your quippy thoughts. That's why we're here after every game to go live after the game. So we'll be back on Sunday when the Raptors take on the Portland Trailblazers. It'll be Delano Brampton versus Delano Banton. So we'll get a real chance to see Rexdale versus Brampton. But otherwise, it'll be an earlier game at least, Alex. It'll be 6 p.m. local time. So at least we'll finish at a reasonable hour.
It's less time for me to prep for my 6-pack.
Hey, man, go get that 6 ready. But in the meantime, thanks everyone for listening. This has been the Hello Welcome Podcast, presented by Betway. Leave a like on the stream on your way out. If you have time this weekend, just write a nice little Apple review. You know what I mean? Write it in the Alex Wong Letterboxd style. You know what I mean?
Write an Apple review. It would be super pretty. We should start asking for these at the start.
Yeah, 5 stars. 5 stars for the Letterboxd reviews.
It would mean a lot if you went and hit the Apple review.
Just hit it, man. That's it. Anyway, thanks everyone for listening. We will catch you on Sunday. Have a nice weekend. The weather is gorgeous in Toronto, which means it's like 14 degrees, but it's still pretty good relatively. So I'm going to enjoy myself. Hope everyone does as well. Stay safe out there. And this has been the Welcome Podcast presented by Betway.